has true sensation. So these are the four truths, right? Four noble truths. So as I make my folds, that's what that symbolizes. I've got something underneath here called a donka. A donka, and by the way, it's held up by a belt. There's no zipper, no buttons, anything. So it's just folded together. Then we've got this other thing called the donka, and it's also folded. And as we fold it across, we imagine the Lord of Death. Because if I believed I would die today, how would I behave? So death is very important in Buddhism. We think about it a lot because it motivates our mind to practice. If I really believed I was going to die today, I would act accordingly. Then we've got two sleeves, which symbolize the emptiness of I and all phenomena. And there's a little tantric aspect to it as well. So that's the symbolism of these robes. So it's interesting because some people kind of look at me, look away. They're like, I don't know, and I don't want to know, you know. And then some people are like really like into it. Even dogs. Like I'll have dogs like just get in my robes and like want to be inside the robes. They love them. And then other dogs might. I don't have many that growl at me, but I've had one or two in my 10 years of going, brr, and I think, okay, I love you, you know.
You know, I find how many people that actually come into Buddhism that you know that practice and everything that actually know that about what the skirt, what all that means.
Yeah, not many.
You know,
Yeah,
because that's fascinating.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I mean, even in Catholicism or that, you know, I grew up Catholic myself.
Yeah.
But I don't know the symbolism for all the robes or why they wear this robe or that robe or why it's one color, and you know, I don't know that. I don't.
That's right.
But yeah,
it does have meaning.
And they all have meanings. Exactly.
That's right. Yeah.
It's incredible. Since you have actively been involved with your religion, what has been your biggest challenge? Personally.
I guess actively, so that's 13 years. You know, I think if we're honest with a spiritual life, you know, I was just talking with one of our students earlier about this morning, we had a chanted prayer this morning, is in a spiritual life, you hit dry patches. You know, where like maybe you're gung-ho at the beginning, kind of that honeymoon when you first meet, and then once you're in it for a long duration, it ebbs and flows.
Right.
Right? I mean, some days you're feeling like really faithful, and then other days you're like dry as a rock, you know, like you don't feel it. So I guess one of the challenges for me is just letting go of those stories that I've held on to about myself and others.
Yeah.
You know, like those stories that really limit me to benefit others. You know, maybe thinking, so for example, I have to take exams. You know, I get trained up. I do 2 types of training every year. I take exams all the time. I've never considered myself a great exam taker.
Me neither, I'm horrible.
So let go of that. That's a mantra, that's a storyline right there. I just started letting go of it because at the beginning I kept saying that, like, oh, I'm horrible, I'm horrible, I'm horrible, I'm horrible. And I realized, Cholki, you're just like affirming and you're, you know, basically bringing it in to be true. Stop it. Say you're a good tester. And I did. I just started thinking, no, I'm a good tester. And I'm going to study it, I'm going to look at it, I'm going to take it from different angles, I'm going to listen to it, I'm going to read it, I'm going to talk about it, I'm going to take it from different angles so I can bring it in and remember. I'm passing my exams. And they're difficult. I mean, these are not easy exams we take. I mean, they're deep and you have to know detail. And I'm not good at remembering detail. I'm good at the broad picture, and I'm a talker, not a writer. I can write, but you know, like, I don't know, anyway.
I know exactly how you feel. I'm the same way.
So let go of holding onto those storylines about who we are, who we aren't. You know, who we want to be, who we think we can't be. You know, like just letting go of that limited self and really allowing that limitless person, that limitless being to shine.
Awesome.
Because the limits aren't the exams. The limits are mind perceiving that exam as difficult.
Yeah.
But actually that exam is not difficult. If I say it's easy, it's easy.
Yeah.
If I say it's difficult, it's difficult.
I will have to try to practice that.
Yeah. You're a good test
Seriously.
taker. I know. You're a good test taker.
I will. Since you've actively been involved with your religion, what has been the greatest accomplishment?
That I met my spiritual guide. that I have a fully accomplished meditation master in my life guiding me continually day in, day out, and blessing my mind and giving me the sublime opportunity to share that with others. But everything's coming from my spiritual guide.
Yeah, and I could see that answer. I could have probably said that answer for you too, in just a short time that we met. So as a person who, like I said, I've read about Buddhism before. I did a little bit of following here and there. One of my biggest obstacles was meditation. I am a horrible meditator.
You're a great meditator.
Yeah.
There's a storyline again. Let him go.
How could you? What would you do to persuade me, or to tell me, or how do I become a better meditator? And
Yeah. Okay.
Does that make sense?
It totally makes sense. So the question is, you feel that you're a horrible meditator. What would I say to someone who comes to me and says, I'm a horrible meditator? What would I say? Is that the question?
Yeah.
Okay. So, first of all, it's all familiarity. Everything we do in our life is about familiarity. So when you first became out of becoming sober, you had to get familiar what that looked like. Day in, day out. What did that look like, a sober life? And you became more and more familiar. In fact, congratulations, since, was it 2010?
2010. Right?
Yes, 7 years, man. Good for you.
July will be 2000. Will be 7 years.
That's right. So, you had to become familiar with what does that look like? What does that feel like? What does that experience come from within? And so this is what we do with meditation. It's like just connecting with, for example, our breath.
Mm-hmm.
So usually we start with our breath because our minds are so busy that we need to start training to pacify those distracting thoughts. And we do what's called a preliminary meditation. So right now, as you're breathing naturally, see if you can become aware of a cool sensation as you breathe in. And then as you breathe out through your nose, see if you can feel a warm sensation. It's a little subtle. But keep breathing and see if you can feel, as you breathe in through the nose, just naturally, a cool sensation as you inhale, and then a warm sensation as you exhale. Right? So what we do is we just follow that breath moment by moment, just enjoying, connecting with the natural sensation of the breath. And it's like taking, a jar full of mud and shaking it and then deciding, no, I'm going to put it back down. The mud will eventually settle. So what we're doing is through connecting our breath, we're not focusing on those distracting thoughts. And the mud naturally settles. The busy mind naturally settles. So this is how we begin, is through the preliminary meditation of breathing. And then we expand them out. We have many different types of meditations.
Yeah.
But that one is a good one. And that one's a good one to study with. That's a good one to take exams with. Because you've got your breath wherever you are.
I will definitely,
right?
And I give you a word that I will practice that.
Yeah, it's easy. You and it doesn't cost anything. That's what I like. A lot of people feel like, oh, to meditate, I gotta get a cushion, I gotta get incense, I gotta get the music. We don't do incense, we don't do music. All we do is use our mind. And you can sit in a chair, you can be in your car stuck in traffic, don't close your eyes though.
Right.
You can be anywhere and meditate basically, because your mind's focused on a virtuous object. That's what meditation is. It's a mind that focuses on a virtuous object and functions to cause inner peace now and in the future. That's what meditation is. So you can do it formally, like this, and then when you get up and go into your daily life. Because if you're holding the mind of acceptance, you're meditating. If you're holding the mind of love, you're meditating. If you're holding the mind of compassion or wisdom, you're meditating. So this is what we teach on how we can do that practically.
Or another question I was curious about is, what's the meaning of your name?
Cholki?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so funny. So when we get ordained, there's these envelopes, and they're just passed out. And you might think they're kind of like, I don't know, happenstance, but as Buddhists, we don't believe in happenstance. We believe in karma. We believe everything has a cause and effect. So when I was about to get my name, there were two people that were distributing them. And one was just about to give me, and then she went and gave it to the next person. And then the person behind her gave me mine. So Cholki means joyful Dharma holder. So Dharma is Buddhist teachings.
Right. Well, That's cool.
Yeah.
I just had to know that for personal reasons.
Yeah.
So are there any other information or topics that you would may educate myself and others about your religion, about that I may not have asked or missed? And,
Well, I just want to conclude by saying that my wish, so the way we're set up in our tradition, Geshe Kelsang Gyatso has a very small stipend that he lives on.
mm-hmm.
I have a very small stipend that I live on. The money that comes through here goes to increasing our community outreach. It goes to my continuing education to send me places. It goes, we're going to have like a little nest egg because we're going to grow out of this place soon. We're already packed on Sunday. So we're going to have to go to a bigger place at some place. So what's so beautiful about this tradition is it's so pure.
Mm-hmm.
It's so pure because the money, the reason why we've been able to do 1,100 centers and branches is because once we're what we call KMC, Kadampa Meditation Center, we co-op our money. And then that goes to, let's say, buying a building.
Right.
So we use our money not to pocket it in anyone's particular pocket. Like Geshe Kelsang Gyatso doesn't drive a Rolls Royce. He drives he lives a very simple life, just like me.
Mm-hmm.
We're equal in that way, in this very simple life. And all the money goes towards, it's dedicated to building these temples for world peace, or what we call urban centers for world peace, or commercial spaces for world peace, or international retreat centers. The New Kadampa tradition is dedicated to world peace. It's dedicated to world peace, meaning, if you read this great quote from Advice from Atisha's Heart, since you cannot tame the mind of others until you have tamed your own mind, begin by taming your own mind. So this is how we begin as Kadampas. We can't change others, but we can change ourselves. And what's so beautiful is that ripple effect that I have seen over the years, over these 13 years, of how people are changing. Families are going to these festivals with their kids, and as a family they're learning to navigate this crazy world in a more peaceful and happy way and show that example. And so for me, I guess what's so inspiring amidst all this craziness that we're seeing is I know in my heart there's another aspect that isn't making CNN. Another person like Geshe Kelsang Gyatso has never made the cover of Time magazine, even though our president has made it many times. It doesn't mean that that person doesn't deserve to get it. It means that their purity and sincerity is actually an example of wanting change without having to show what they're changing. It's beautiful.
It is. I really want to thank you for this chance and this opportunity.
Thank you, George. I'm inspired by your story.
Yeah, and I hope that we can develop a relationship and do more within the community and our center. We're always looking to do things in our center, at Anchor Recovery Community Center. I will definitely, I don't know if you use an email or anything?
Yeah, I do. I'm a modern nun.
Cool.
I even text.
Cool. So if you want to give me your information, I will, when I'm done with my paper, I will send you a copy just to review.
I would love that. And what I'm going to do too is I'm going to give you a little information just so you have it written.
Yeah.
And it might be easier than going through the transcript of that.
Yeah, definitely. So, I'm very excited, and I always like to learn. And again, like I said, I've dabbled in it a little bit here and there, points, and I find it fascinating. And I don't know, maybe somewhere deep down, I may be pop movies too. I don't know. It's
Well,
I definitely believe in a lot of the teachings and a lot of the beliefs that they believe in.
Yeah, me too.
Not to say that Catholicism isn't. I disagree with a lot that they have. I always have. But I don't know. It's just another part in my journey.
Well, that's what it is, George. And sometimes we don't have to figure it out immediately. Sometimes we can just. I'm giving you my cell phone too, so you have that again. I don't know if you read that, it stands for RT.
RT.
You might want to do it in your own handwriting so you remember that. It stands